Day 4 of training camp is now in the books. We are going to be breaking down everything that you need to know about Day 4 next on the Unbearable Sports Podcast. But first, make sure to like and subscribe out there on YouTube and rate the show 5 stars everywhere that you get your podcast. So today, the Bears really made an emphasis about the red zone. They had a lot of different red zone drills, so we saw a lot of touchdowns today. Now, also, one of my favorite drills that they do, one-on-ones with offensive line and defensive line. So we'll break down the Battle of the Titans, as I'm dubbing it, next. But first, we got to go through some downs, right? Some things that we just have to get through. There were some turnovers today, some injuries that we need to talk about, and then we'll break down more of the offense and defense. But first, with the turnovers, 3 interceptions were thrown today, 2 from P.J. Walker, 1 from Justin Fields. P.J. Walker was trying to throw an out route, and Greg Stroman ended up picking it off, kind of jumping the route, and essentially should have brought it back for 6 points. It should have just been a pick 6. But the play of the game, or of the day, was Tremaine Edmonds got a pick 6 on P.J. Walker, and really the ball was just a little bit short behind Velus Jones, and Tremaine Edmonds was able to capitalize, bring it back for 6, and the Bears were just going crazy. This is the chemistry that the Bears have been talking about, and it was cool to hear kind of how hyped that they got. But then Justin Fields' interception. Adrian Colbert picked it off in a red zone drill. Really, Justin Fields was trying to force it to Cole Kmet and didn't really make a great decision. He was just trying to force something that wasn't there. Colbert made the play and ended up coming away with the interception. So something small that you hope that he then learns from. But let's go through injuries, or as I'll say, injuries in air quotes. So thankfully, not a lot of these appear to be too serious, but Eddie Jackson and Nate Davis were not playing out there with the team. And the reason, Eddie Jackson had a Veterans Day off, so Elijah Hicks, who has looked very good, was able to get the first team reps. And Nate Davis was out because, according to Josh Chirac, he's fully healthy, but the Bears just want to see Ja'Tyre Carter and Lucas Patrick in at right guard to kind of see who that backup is going to be. So they're trying some more situational types of lineups. But a very interesting move, something to at least just look into. But then also Cody Whitehair at the center position left practice with the left hand and wrist injury, but was thankfully able to go back out there later on during practice. Definitely something we need to be looking out for, just in case that left hand does aggravate him a little bit more down the road. But also linebacker Dylan Cole was back out there. Same thing with Darnell Mooney. He's just continuing to get ramped up from his injuries. But guys, we got to break down the one-on-ones that were taking place at Chicago Bears training camp today. And somebody who popped during these one-on-ones, we're not talking about offensive linemen. That's right. We're talking about Roschon Johnson. So Roschon Johnson was able to block pretty well. I believe that Just Another Year Chicago, this is their video that I'm showing on YouTube, but he was kind of saying that he really liked what Roschon Johnson was doing, and a couple others thought that Roschon Johnson was pretty impressive when it came down to pass blocking drills. Yet again, they're not wearing pads, but it's nice to kind of hear that the rookie that we hope can kind of do that pass blocking a lot better than a Khalil Herbert or a Donta Foreman was able to kind of showcase those skills today in practice. But also, what we saw out there too was Gervon Dexter going against TEVEN Jenkins. And who won? TEVEN Jenkins. TEVEN Jenkins took both. He went against him twice, and TEVEN Jenkins ultimately won. Strength on strength. Turns out TEVEN Jenkins is a little bit stronger. But speaking of strength, Darnell Wright went against Rasheem Green in one-on-ones and won both reps. That's great to see, since we've been hearing that Terrell Lewis has been beating Darnell Wright a handful of times. It was nice to see Wright do well against Green. Also, another little side note on Rasheem Green, he is getting first-team reps alongside Walker at that first-team defensive end spots. But also, Braxton Jones went against DeMarcus Walker, the first-team defensive end, and did well. DeMarcus Walker tried to bull rush him, but ultimately Braxton Jones held his own, which is great to see, because Braxton Jones has struggled historically or last year with some bull rushes, so it was nice to see him be able to hold his own. But then Walker got the best of him next rep, which you're kind of fine with. Like, hey, 50%, you want a good defensive end and good tackle, I'll take it, right? But then also another thing to mention, Nate Davis was cooked by Justin Jones. I mentioned it before. Justin Jones is looking very quick, very nimble. So it's nice to see our 3 technique do well. But yeah, you'd like to see this person who's protecting Justin Fields also do well. It's a catch-22. But last little bit that I'll mention about these players too is that Danielle Hunter. So defensive ends, we still might need to add one. Danielle Hunter is on the trading block as long as the Vikings can't get an extension done. So that might also be why the Bears are holding back on signing someone. Maybe they're talking to the Vikings. Maybe they're saying, hey, give him an extension, otherwise we'll take him. Or what do you want for him? So that might be something that could be going on behind the scenes. I haven't heard anything. It's just speculation. But he is, the thing that's not speculation is he is on the trade block if they're not able to get a deal done. But let's go over to Justin Fields. We got to talk about the man himself. So as we already know, Justin Fields and DJ Moore, the connection's electric. The connection's there. It's amazing to watch. And here's just a little clip of just him cooking Jalen Johnson. But Jalen Johnson, perfect coverage. But this is what we're talking about. A good throw from Justin Fields, a great catch. This is what we're seeing at training camp. It's just a phenomenal connection. But it's not just with him, right? We're talking about Tyler Scott. I didn't see much from Tyler Scott today, but somebody that continues to impress is Velus Jones. Velus Jones continues to run routes. And like I said before, looking like a wide receiver, not just a playmaker. As you can see here, able to kind of cook his the cornerback who's on him. It's nice to see. It's nice to see other weapons kind of emerging as not necessarily like true staples, but just the more playmakers you have, the more people that can do stuff, the better for Justin Fields. Also just looking through my notes too. Yeah, DJ Moore, handful of touchdowns, handful of good plays. Justin Fields also ran for a touchdown because, believe it or not, DJ Moore was actually covered. So he was looking DJ Moore's way. He was covered. So ultimately, Justin Fields ran it in for a touchdown. But one of the most significant things that took place was when Justin Fields went through a 2-minute drill in only 3 plays. He first threw it to DJ Moore and also Cole Kmet for big gains, and then ultimately threw a touchdown to Equinemius St. Brown for the touchdown. You love to see it. 3 straight completions, and 2-minute drills was something that the Bears really struggled at during last training camp. It's nice to see them just be so methodical as they move down the field. And last little bit on the offense before we go to the defense, Robert Tonyan. Tonyan was used heavily in the red zone, kind of what we've talked about and expected, but this just kind of confirmed it. Tonyan is going to be a red zone weapon because of his size and reliable hands that he does possess. But last, let's go through corners. I have to have a segment just for Kyler Gordon. Kyler, man, has been playing well. This is another day that he has sticky coverage on people. I didn't bring this up last episode because I actually completely forgot about it. Kyler Gordon made a couple plays yesterday, made some plays today, just looked like he was in very, very tight coverage. There's also another touchdown that went to DJ Moore, go figure. And Kyler Gordon was all over DJ Moore. Yet again, another beautiful pass, beautiful catch that you couldn't ask for more. Everybody looked good at that respective play. Also at the cornerback position, Jalen Johnson, 2 passes defensed when throwing to DJ Moore. And also Terrell Smith continues to get share the number 1 reps with Tyreek Stevenson. Is this actually a battle? Let me know down in the comments what you think. Is this truly going to be a battle, or is this still just them seeing what they have with everybody? I personally am starting to believe that this is a battle, and I honestly hope it is a battle because Stevenson was getting burnt, and if Smith isn't getting burnt, then what do you have to say? Then who is the better corner? I want the best person out there, and I think battles and competition create better players. But last but not least, got to throw in Buddy Johnson, the newly signed linebacker. He looked fast. He looked quick. And this was really his first practice with the Bears. Looked decent and had some good burst to him. Ladies and gentlemen, that about does it for this training camp recap. We'll be live on Sunday at 7:30. I still have to figure out if it's either going to be just an overall recap or something fun, but make sure to stay tuned. Make sure to like and subscribe out there on YouTube. And with that, Unbearable Sports Podcast, we are out.
Yeah, she's got some nice long hair and you